show you how to put together a PC. We have some of the parts here. We got our case over here. We got our CPU and heatsink, they'll stuck together, whatever. Our motherboard, the main component here. Our graphics card, power supply, RAM. We got a nice DVD drive here for you, hard drive, and the assorted tools to help us get this all together. Alright, we'll show you the main part. Alright, so what we have here is our MSI G45A AMD motherboard. This is an ATX size motherboard, which is pretty standard for most computers. What you're going to want to look for is how many memory slots you have, your express slots, and the most important part, what kind of socket type you have. Now, this is an AM3 Plus socket type, so we have to find a compatible CPU to go with that. So we're going to show you how to put this into the case. Okay. Alright, so what we have, as you can see, we have some spacers along here. You won't need all the spots. You just need to screw these in. It should be pretty easy to put them in. Just twist them like that, and you're good. So you just set your motherboard in, and you might have to finagle with it a little bit to get it right, but make sure that all the holes line up over top of the spacers. What you're going to need next are these screws. They're pretty easy. They should come with your case along with the spacers. You just need to screw these in with. So you put them down over top, make sure it's steady. Line it up right, that's the most important part. We've skipped ahead to already put in all the screws, so what you just need to make sure is that it's nice and secure in here. It's not going to flop around a bunch. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to go and do our next part. Alright, so we're back again, and we're going to put it back in now. So like I said before the first time, make sure you got that little arrow lined up. You got to find that, and you got to find it on your CPU socket. Make sure your little lever or whatever is in your CPU socket is all the way unlocked so your processor can go in. Make sure you're very careful to line it up correctly, otherwise you can bend the pin, and once you bend the pin you're kind of done. So here we go. It should just slide in real easy. Don't put any pressure on it whatsoever. It'll just sit in there, okay? Lines up nicely, like I said, the arrow, and then you just bring down the lever and it locks in. Here. Alright, so what you do is you gotta get this lined up, make sure your thermal paste is on there, because that's what's gonna get the heat off of your CPU. Line it up nice. It should just go right on top there. Alright. Now that that's on there, you can maybe just wiggle it a little bit, get the thermal paste to move around and cover. And you take your metal bar here and you get it to kind of go over top of these little nubs here on both sides, which might take a little bit of force, but this is the only part on your computer where you might need a little bit of muscle work. And we've almost got it on the other side here. There we go. There you go. Nothing's really snapped that I'm aware of. So once that's on both sides, you just pull this up and over, and it'll lock into place. So now you're all good. Next part is to get the fan plugged in. There'll be a spot right over there. Let's see if Vondy can. There you go. Yep. And it'll just go right on there. Make sure you gotta turn the right way. You really only put on a plug backwards once. That's a mistake you make once. Alright, it's on. There you go. All good. Now, some PC cases will have you put your power supply in either on the bottom or the top. Now, mine is on the bottom here. On the bottom is really good for stability, but some people like it on the top because it's better for reaching certain parts in the motherboard. But I don't really care either way, so here's what you gotta do. You gotta make sure you grab your cords here and they're not in the way. Just make sure you gently slide it into place, and then you can start screwing the parts in. So now we're gonna screw the parts in, and make sure you got it all like held up to where it needs to be so that you can get all the screws in, because you want to make sure this gets in the right place, because this will probably move around a lot when your PC is running. So it's good to have it nice and secure so it's not going to cause damage to itself or whatnot. So now that we got all the parts screwed in, I'm going to show you what some of this stuff is. This is your AVG slot right here, which is where your power cord is going to go, and that plugs into your obviously to the wall or your outlet or whatnot. You got your on-off switch here, which comes kind of standard, and most power supplies will have this nowadays. It's a turbo switch to kind of just kick up the fan a little bit if you think it's overheating a little bit, just to help cool your case off a little bit. Alright, so next we're going to show you how to put in your drives. We're going to put in our hard drive, and our disk drive is already in the case. So we're going to show you how to screw these in and mount them, and then we're going to show you how to connect their SATA cords here, which is how the information transfers between them. Alright. So we have our Toshiba 1TB hard drive. You guys do not need to go this big on a hard drive. You may even want to go with an SSD drive, but this is what I went with. So we're going to show you how to put this in. What you need to do is first find the location in your computer where your hard drive will go, and most computers will have a specific spot for it. You can see ours is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in here. And yep, you just gotta line up the holes here, if you can see that. Yep. Once those are good and ready, you take your screws and you get your screwdriver and you just put them in. If I could learn how to operate tools. Alright, so now that you see we already have it finished, already got all the screws in, and we have our disk drive over here. It's a CD DVD burner, which you could go with Blu-ray if you wanted, but it's whatever you want in your computer. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in the SATA cords now. Now the SATA ports are right here typically on your motherboard, so what you do is you just get the cord hooked on to the drive, just should snap on like that, and then put it into whichever port is probably best for wherever it's located. Some cords may not be able to stretch far enough to get them. Probably put that on the other one. Sometimes it's best just to kind of like link these together so they're a little out of the way. Well, we're going to leave them for now. Now we're going to show you how to put in your RAM. We have Corsair Vengeance 8GB sticks. We got 2 of them, so that's a total of 16 gigabytes. You don't have to put this much in your computer. We felt like overpowering it a little bit here. So we're going to show you how to put these in. So the first thing you need to do is remember that it's dual channel, so you don't just put them right next to each other. You have to put them in the corresponding slots here. So it's best to put them into the slots that are closest to the CPU first, so the black one is the closest. So what you do is you got to open it up, make sure you have the right type of memory so that the little slot here will line up with that in there. I don't know if you can see it in the video. But what you do is you just get it lined up. Hold on. Double check and just kind of push down on it. You don't need too much muscle on pushing it down. It should just snap in. Same thing with you. Now your RAM's all secure. So for the last part, we're going to show you how to put in a graphics card. We have a Radeon 7750 right here. It's a 4 GB. It's a pretty decent graphic card for its size and its price. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you if you want to go in the other direction and go a little bit bigger with our cameraman Vondy.
Alright. Here we go. What we have here is the Radeon 7970.
Little size comparison for you.
Yeah, as you can see, and mine has 2 power connections. They're 8-pin. You have to hook it up directly to the power supply.
I don't think mine had any. What you do is you get your graphics card here, and you make sure you got this all lined up. You pull the tab back on it, and you line it up, and just set it in, and no real force, just a little push on it, and it'll snap right down into there, and it's all secure. So all you need to do from there is you need to get one single screw here, and then you just screw it into place.